Hey, happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us on our noon forecast. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox here with Hail Trace for your lunchtime forecast. Your big headlines for today are the plains getting hit again. So very similar to what we saw yesterday, we are expecting another round of showers and storms today across the plains, anywhere from Colorado all the way up to North Dakota. We are also watching for extreme heat down in Texas. Now, if you're in Texas, you're already feeling the heat. You're feeling those extreme temperatures. This morning, temperatures were about 10 degrees above what we saw here in Oklahoma. So big difference down in Texas, and we'll talk about why in just a few minutes. We're also watching for a flooding threat out in the Four Corners, very similar to what we saw yesterday, so we'll be talking about that as well. Hey, real quick, before we get to the forecast, I do want to mention that we are going to be at the Texas Roofing Conference, so we're excited to be there. We will have a booth 140. If you stop by our booth, we are going to have exclusive deals for annual plans during the show. So go see Frank and he'll be able to hook you up with one of those plans. Again, this is September 11th through the 13th down in Irving, Texas. We're very excited to see you all there. Let's talk about yesterday's storms. We saw some pretty decent storms yesterday. A surprising storm popped up near Myrtle Beach down in South Carolina, and we got 1 3/4 inch hail out of this storm. We also got some strong wind speeds that actually knocked down a small tree limb. So nothing out of the ordinary here in the plains. However, for South Carolina, just this little storm that could, pretty impressive out there. We also got some hail anywhere from South Dakota all the way down to Colorado. We got an 1.5 inch size hailstone in Montana. So some people got some of that hail yesterday. This was pretty isolated though, not too impressive as we headed down into places like Colorado. Those definitely had some smaller hailstones. However, I do think we got a decent amount of hail out there. Okay, taking a look at what we can see for today. Right now, we have a few showers anywhere from the East Coast all the way out to the West Coast. You can see that we've got a lot going on out to the west. What we're going to be watching for today are these little boundaries that are propagating some storms already starting as early as this morning. However, more promising for that severe weather as we head into the afternoon and late night hours. So let's go ahead and take a look at the showers and storms that we have going on right now. Showers and storms off to the east. Now here's the good news. This will eventually over the next few days be moving out to the east and will be a lot drier in this area. I know it's been kind of cooler and rainy up in the Northeast and New England states the last day or two. Taking a look at some of those showers down in Florida. We saw a lot of wind out of some of these showers and storms yesterday out in Florida. We could see that once again today, but I'm not expecting anything too severe with this. All the way out to the west, we have some showers and storms coming off of the west coast and into Seattle. But what we're really watching for today is that activity across the plains. So what's happening here is we have a pretty decent influx of moisture, and then we have two different things going on right now. We have a trough that's dipping down, really starting to give some forcing to some of these storms. That's going to help to fuel those storms later on today. And then farther down to the south, we have a big ridge. We call this, oftentimes you'll hear it called the heat dome, the ring of fire. You'll probably hear that on TV or maybe on social media. What this means is that it's a big ridge, high pressure, setting up over Texas, and that's going to bring our temperatures up. So whenever we look at our temperatures here, you're gonna see they're much higher down in Texas. 87 in Dallas, 95 in Houston. You factor in some of the moisture that we've got coming up through here, and those feel like temperatures are even higher. 82 right now in Chandler, 81 in Oklahoma City, so not too bad. You know, I went out a few hours ago and it wasn't terrible out there. You may find some shade or maybe a fan if you want to sit outside for your lunch. 89 in Fort Worth, 88 in Dallas. I would just find the AC, find some place inside, because as I mentioned, if you factor in the humidity here or the moisture in the air, it does feel more like the low 90s. Even already feeling like the triple digits in places like San Antonio and Corpus Christi. It looks like Florida is taking a break today. We usually have triple digits at this point down in Florida, but hey, only 97. Still hot out there. We have cooler temperatures farther up to the Midwest and out to the Northeast. They are enjoying the 70s this afternoon. Very jealous. Okay, let's take a look at your future radar here, because I did mention showers and storms anywhere from Colorado all the way up to North Dakota and Montana. Starting in central Montana, we're going to start with some scattered to widely scattered showers and storms by about 3 to 4 o'clock this afternoon. That'll be whenever we see storm initiation. This will continue into the late night hours. I said until about 11 o'clock. Some of these storms, especially if we can get a sustained supercell here, I think that we could get some larger hail up to the size of 2 inches and some stronger wind speeds. This area of the country will be the best or most promising place to get those stronger winds and large hailstones for today. You can see that continues through the late night hours, continuing to push off to the east. Now we're in North and South Dakota. Okay, I've restarted the clock here. This afternoon, 2 o'clock, you can see those showers and storms once again popping up. Now we're looking down in South Dakota. You're going to see this will continue as we head into the late evening to late night hours. Scattered to widespread showers and storms is what we're expecting. A good amount of these most likely turning severe. I did bring down the hail size just a little bit in this area, 1.5 inches to about 70-mile-per-hour wind speeds is what we're expecting. And I pulled this just a little bit later on into the evening hours, or overnight hours, I guess at this point. 2 a.m. is what we're watching for storms to be continuing in this area. However, I think as the sun goes down, we're gonna see that chance for severe weather start to go down as well. Storms will weaken as we don't have the daytime heating. Okay, let's head farther down to the south. I think we're going to Colorado now. Maybe, there we go. Okay, so Colorado, Nebraska, very, very similar here where we're starting out with scattered showers and storms into the afternoon hours, continuing through the evening hours. And I did bring up the hail size just a little bit, mainly for this area, anywhere from Rapid City to northern Colorado for 2-inch size hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind speeds. I kept the timing for that right around 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. Now taking you down to the Four Corners, this is where we're expecting that flooding risk today. Oftentimes it doesn't matter how much rain you're getting, but it matters how fast you're getting that rain. So what we're watching for is some very slow moving showers and storms. Again, we are right along that high pressure here, so you can almost see that cutoff right in the middle of New Mexico. All of these storms are going to be pushed out to the west. Pretty slow moving here, which is why we're expecting that flooding risk. We could also see kind of like storm after storm that hits the same spot over and over. We're also expecting that to contribute to the flooding risk in this area. So that's an area that we're watching for excessive rainfall, flooding concerns, just very, very isolated, but still something to mention here. Okay, taking a look at your hail forecast, returning to those storms across the plains here, you can see that the better chances for those larger hailstones will be farther up to the north, as I mentioned earlier, into central eastern Montana, and on the western side of North Dakota, anywhere from about 1.25 inches to 1.75 inch size hailstone. But I do think that we could get up to 2 inches here. I know that I'm kind of going on the smaller side for the most part, but an isolated storm could bring us very isolated amounts of 2-inch hail. Better chances anywhere from Glasgow all the way out to Bismarck. I know Bismarck is right on the edge of this risk for hail. I may move that out just a little bit, just a tiny bit, into the central portion of North Dakota. Heading farther down to the south here, smaller hailstones for the most part. However, I would not rule out a 2-inch hailstone every now and then. It's just not going to be very widespread. So that's what I have for today, 2-inch hailstones for your forecasted max hail size. I don't think that's out of the question at all. Okay, taking a look at those wind chances for today. High wind anywhere from central South Dakota all the way up to the north into central Montana, central to western North Dakota as well. I think we could get those high to damaging wind speeds anywhere from 75 miles an hour, maybe up to 80, but I think we're going to be a little bit closer to 75 miles an hour, still well above that severe threshold. All right, taking a look, I think the next thing that I have here is tomorrow's forecast. There you go. So you're going to see it's a very similar setup from what we have today for what we're expecting tomorrow. Another chance for strong to severe storms across the plains here. So we're watching for those storms into the afternoon and evening hours on your Thursday, and then even another risk for strong to severe storms on Friday as well. Here's a look at your hail forecast for tomorrow. An isolated area of hail anywhere from 1 inch to 1.25 inches. I may raise those sizes just a little bit tomorrow whenever we get more data, whenever we get a bit closer to the system up to the north. And then another one, once again hitting Colorado. This area of Colorado, I want to see how many days it's been that we have just seen storm after storm system go through and hit this area of Colorado. Anyway, we're watching once again Colorado, Nebraska, Kansas to get hit with another round of showers and storms tomorrow. Taking a look at your future temperatures, does Texas get a break at all? Not for tomorrow. 103 in Dallas tomorrow. By Friday, 98, but hey, Oklahoma City back into the triple digits, and it looks like we're staying in a very similar trend on Saturday as well, where temperatures are expected to reach the triple digits anywhere from Texas, Oklahoma, up to Kansas, maybe even Nebraska. Lots of us are going to be feeling that heat as we head into the weekend. Taking a little bit farther of a look out here, all the way to the end of August, a bit cooler out to the west, but it does look like those high temperatures will return anywhere from central portion of the U.S. all the way out to the east. So if you're in the Midwest right now, if you're in the New England states, and you're feeling those 70s this afternoon, go outside and enjoy the nice weather, because it is going to turn hot as we head into the end of August. Just give it a little bit. What you're looking at here is your chance, your probability to be above average. So this time of the year, average here in Oklahoma City is about 92 for your high. We have a pretty decent chance to go above that as we head into the end of August. Taking a look at those rainfall chances over the next 5 days, we've talked about just round after round of showers and storms through the plains. That is going to continue. We've also talked about that flooding risk across the Four Corners. As we head into the end of August, it looks like we're in for a drier pattern setup here. That doesn't mean we can't have isolated storms. That just means that for our average rainfall totals for the year, we may be just under that, or maybe even right about average through the central portion of the U.S. Okay, let me take you down to the tropics, because it's been a bit quiet here lately. Other than Ernesto, which is now out in the middle of the northern Atlantic somewhere, we are now looking for that next chance for for developing tropical cyclones. So where would that be? So the National Hurricane Center, they came out with a forecast yesterday, and they said that we have a pretty high probability, we're talking 60% or above, just out to the Atlantic. Pretty decent chance for tropical development through the last week of August and into the first few days of September. That chance goes down just a little bit as we get into the first full week of September, but it's pretty good chances to see tropical development over the next week or two. I know this has been something that we've been talking about for quite some time, and yet it's still been a quiet season, but we're just getting into the peak of hurricane season, so we could definitely still see tropical development and tropical activity as we go into the end of August, September, and October. So we'll be tracking that for you. Of course, on Hail Trace, we love to track those hurricanes. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday afternoon. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And if you're looking for a hail map, a wind map, or a tornado map, give us a call at 855-334-4245. Email us at info@hailtrace.com, or head over to our website, hailtrace.com. We've got lots of fun things on that website, not only our maps, but we've also got a blog. So if you're a weather enthusiast like us, I think you'd really enjoy that blog. Okay, thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. We'll see you back here, same time, same place tomorrow.